So Steve and I have a 2011 Ford Ranger in the garage, the 4.0 in it. We're going to show you how to change the oil in it. This is something you can do in your driveway on a set of ramps or jack stands. We're doing it on a lift just to show you what to do.
And it's got the 4 liter. I'm going to take the oil cap off. It takes 530 motor oil. And we're going to get it up in the air. And like I said, we're going to do our normal check. We're going to check all our antifreeze, fluid levels. Noticing the battery's got a little bit of corrosion on over here, and we're gonna rinse this with some hot water and clean that up.
Ew.
And it looks like it's kind of almost oozing out over here, blowing back. So we're gonna take care of that and blow that off.
That's not good.
That's the hydraulic brake control unit. We're just gonna blow that off, but we'll rinse this with water and stuff. And we got some battery protectant to put on there so it won't corrode. And we'll get it up in the air and we'll get going. All right, we got our 13 millimeter socket. I'm gonna crack the plug loose.
You use a socket or a wrench or a ratchet wrench.
Yep. Trying not to make a mess. You know how we are. So.
Does that pan have a hole in the bottom of it too?
Well, that was last night's adventure.
Yeah, I did an oil change in my Expedition. Didn't drop one drop, and there's oil all underneath the pan. So Steve's yelling at me, and there's a hole in the bottom of the pan.
Yeah. So we got a 93 millimeter wrench here, socket wrench to take it off. You could probably get on there with the old style oil filter wrench, but this makes it a lot easier to do. Put it up there, crack it loose, and we're gonna move the bucket over so that it drains into the bucket.
Which one's that?
And we'll just let it slowly drain so it doesn't make a mess, Tony. So we're gonna pull the filter down now. I got a rag up here so it won't make a mess. And we got a new Motorcraft filter to put on. We'll give you the number. You're gonna buy them on Rock Auto, and they're buying by the case, and they're like $3, $3.50 a filter, so it's worth it. All right, so we're gonna take a little bit of oil and take it right out of the plug here.
Not using the dirty oil, I Steve.
Oh, of course I am. I'm just putting a little oil on there.
That's gonna go right into the motor and ruin the whole track.
Yeah, Jesus, huh? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna screw this up here. And it's the FL820 S filter. I'm just gonna snug up my hand, and then we're gonna go back and tighten it up. I'm gonna put the drain plug back in, and we check the drain plug to make sure the gasket is nice and clean on it and looks good. There's no tears. And we'll stick this back in, and we're gonna torque this, tighten it up with the 13 millimeter socket and ratchet. All right, just gonna snug it up. Don't have to kill it. I'm gonna wipe it dry, and we're gonna put the socket back on the oil filter. Okay, all right, so we get that snugged up. Peel it off, we'll wipe it down, and we're gonna check all the fluid level. So we got the 530 motor oil that we're putting in.
How many quarts does this take?
It's gonna take the full 5.
Yeah, 5 quarts in this one?
Yeah. All right, so we get the 530, we're gonna put the 5 quarts, it takes the full 5. We get this filled up, and then, like I said, we're gonna go over take a look at the serpentine belt, check all our fluid levels. We're gonna clean up that battery terminal, put some battery protectant on it, and make sure everything's good until the next oil change. So every drop. Get our oil cap back on, and we're going to start the motor up, and we're going to make sure that there's no leaks. You're going to look underneath right away after you start it, make sure there's no leaks. Make sure your filter, is in tight enough and it's not leaking. And we didn't go over the O-ring on it to make sure that the old O-ring didn't stick. But we look at the old filter and we know the O-ring is there, so we know that we're good.
Want to check underneath for leaks? There's nothing leaking, should be in good shape.
Got our transmission dipstick over here. I'm gonna pull the hose up a little bit to get at it. pull it out, check the fluid level. And I'm gonna wipe it and re-stick it. Tuck the way underneath the toes a little bit. Make sure it's pushed all the way down. Come out with it. Fluid level is just right there, just below the check mark. It's not quite hot enough right now, so if you were going to add anything, you'd only add about a half a quart, and we'll probably just top it off with a half a quart. It's right there, right before my thumbnail, so we'll add a little bit of fluid to it.
So it should be, yeah, it should be up to...
In the check mark when it's hot, it should be kind of in the middle of it.
Yep.
So we're just about there, so we'll just add a little bit of fluid. All right, so I've got half a quart of Mercon left here, so we're just going to pour this in. It should be good.
Should bring us up to level.
Yeah. Alrighty. And I'm sure I'm the level in half a quart, so I'm good with that. I'm not gonna have to recheck it. So now we'll get the dipstick cut back in here. Tight, very tight in this motor. We've done spark plugs in it before, and it's tight. So, all right, so we're gonna check the rest of our fluid levels. We have our power steering reservoir over here. We can see that it's up to the notch right here, so we know that that's good. We're gonna clean this battery terminal with some hot water. I'm gonna get some hot water and rinse this all off. Our brake fluid level is up, right to the max point here, so that's good. And our serpentine belt doesn't have any cracks in it. We're looking at it, and there's no cracks. The belt's in good condition, so we're not worrying about anything with that. And our oil dipstick is right here. We've already ran the engine, so we'll wipe this down. We've got our 5 quarts in it, and it's right up to the spot. It's like right here. And that's where the check mark is. So this other hole is like the max. Okay, so let's stick it again so you'll be able to see the hole. We're right at the check mark right there. Perfect. 5 quarts. We're going to put an oil change sticker on it so that we remember what it is. We're going to check the antifreeze level. It's a little hot, so we're going to be careful removing the cap. Off, and we're going to check our antifreeze level. And I'm noticing over here, if you look down on the thermostat housing, it looks like I got a leak going on here. So we're going to have to wipe this down and keep an eye on this. I've seen these housings crack before, and so we're just going to wipe this down and make sure that nothing's leaking on it. And I'm going to look at the light down in here. Yeah, you can see where the sensor is, and they sell these housings, and looks like we're going to be ordering one of these up for the upper radiator hose and getting a thermostat for it because we got the crust over there. So we'll be shooting a video on that at some point. And radiator appears to be a little low, so we're going to top the coolant off on that. Yeah, we got a small leak around there. Okay. Let's get that cap back on there. And I'm going to top off the overflow too as well. Sure you get the right one, not washer fluid. Yeah, I'm gonna just fill it to that point because we're gonna be draining the system down and refilling it after but I got it right up to the level there on the bottom. You can see the seam. So we're good with that for now.
And your windshield wiper fluid is here. And that's pretty much up almost all the way.
All right, so we're gonna get some hot water and we're gonna rinse this all off nice. And then we'll blow it down and then we're gonna put some spray on it. So a little bit of water cleans this up. I'm gonna go get some hot water. I get some hot water here and pour this over here and this cleans this all up. I got some over here. I'm just gonna rinse this off. Rinse this. And we'll blow this down dry, and then I'm going to put the spray on it.
That will get all the corrosion right out of there.
Yep.
Old hot rod trick, right, Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to use my little leaf blower to kind of blow this thing dry, because I put the line away already, and then we'll spray it down with the spray. Protectant spray. And yeah, we didn't want to show you our redneck leaf blower to blow this off, so we blew it all off, so it's nice and clean now. And
Steve's got this pea shooter leaf blower.
works good though. All right, so we're gonna put a couple coats on, let it set up a little, you know, and this keeps the corrosion off, and it's inexpensive. I think it's like $5.
Put a link to it in the description of the video. These guys can grab some.
Yeah, so we'll let this set up, and we'll do another little coat on it, and the only thing that we got to do on this thing is we're gonna lower thermostat housing, and it comes from Ford. You get it. And it's pretty simple to put on, but when they get corroded and leak like that, I just buy the whole thing from Ford. It's pretty inexpensive, and it's plastic, so
yeah,
it's getting a lot of heat going through it, and it's worth just fixing it. So I've seen them crack, and when they crack, they really leak all over the place. So, you know, it's something that, you know, he's got 150,000 on this. We're gonna address that, but everything else in the truck is in great shape. We're gonna spray our latch here with some penetrating oil to make sure it's lubed. And we'll do a second coat on this, and this covers everything on it. Well, like everything, do a light check on it while you have the car. You know, you're servicing it. You want to give it a good look over, because, you know, you're going between 5,000 and 7,000 miles on an oil change. So we're going to check the lights on it, make sure everything's working.